chat or just spamming you to lower your sound volume, by the way?
Yeah, I just lowered it, but I think I need to lower it even more. Oh,
That's definitely good.
and I'm not showing my screen either. Let's see. Is it this? Is the sound okay now? What's your full name, by the way? Like,
My name's Chris Wilson.
Chris Wilson.
Wilson. So are you playing in hardcore mode or normal?
Well, I started on hardcore, but I kinda died, so I went back to normal mode.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I got frozen like forever until I died. I don't know. There was like loads of mages with frost magic. How does that work exactly anyway? Like
what, with freeze or?
Yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes I got frozen and sometimes I was just slowed.
Just chilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on critical hits. If they get a crit on you, then it freezes, and the duration is based on how much damage it was relative to your maximum life.
Ah. So, but if I have frost resist, what happens then? Is it lower duration, or do I need something else for that?
The frost resistance will decrease the duration because it's less damage.
Okay.
I'm just
exactly.
gonna tweak the stream.
Yeah. Because like I'm feeling like if I don't get stunned or frozen, I'm most likely not gonna die. But I guess it's like that in most games. Like it's the CC abilities that kills you. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, you're playing Marauders. You're probably pretty tanky.
yeah. Yeah, I'm going in the. I don't know. I need to get out one more skill points. Yeah, I'm going to like the tanky area of the skill tree as well. Like I'm getting resist, max life.
Yeah, that's awesome. When I was playing with, when I was talking to Crepinarian while he was playing a second ago, I'm sure his character could have benefited from a few more tanking skills.
Yeah. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is like run around. I mean, that slows you down more, even if you have a lower DPS. Like low DPS and you never have to back down. It's like max skill speed usually.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting a link to the stream in case any of the Path of Exile fans are interested in checking yours out.
That's cool, thanks man.
No problem.
Let's see, movement speed. I kinda want all these. Oh, 15% less damage from crit strikes. That's cool.
Yeah, the crit strikes actually are one of the major problems that that tanky characters have, because armor decreases lower damage hits a lot more than higher damage hits. The crits, because they become high damage, they're a problem for you, so it's definitely good to mitigate them.
Definitely getting that then. Oh, like how far can you get in this beta?
All of the content is available. There's 2 acts in this version, and we're about to patch in the 3rd one within a few months.
Okay. So
and of course
go on.
There are multiple difficulty levels, like in the Diablo games. So we have 4 difficulties at the moment, but we're removing the 4th one as soon as we add the 3rd act.
Ah, okay. It's gonna be too hard, or what?
Yeah. We don't want people to repeat the static content 4 times, so we have a more interesting end game. So we're gonna let people get access to that after only 3 difficulties.
Yeah, I'm really wondering like about the end game. I mean, the fact that you already can get 100 levels is pretty much end game, but like beyond that, like what's the main goal in the game?
So we've created an itemized map system. Basically, when you're playing in the final difficulty, you can find these map items, and they allow you access to areas that are completely random with random monsters in them, and there's endgame items available in those areas. But the most important part of it is that you can get certain mods on those maps that decrease the that increase the difficulty of the level. For example, you can find one that makes sure that you have increased monster resistances, or your player moves slower than normal, and various other properties like that.
Okay, that's really cool.
You could,
go on.
You can use the in-game currency items, the ones that are used for re-rolling items, to modify those areas, of course, and you can trade them. So if you find one which is particularly bad for your character, you can either re-roll it to one which is good for your character, or trade it to some other guy for something.
Okay. How rare are those map items gonna be?
They're pretty rare. I mean, I think you have to clear somewhere in the region of maybe 10 areas before you find one.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's stuff like that I like, so it actually takes time. Like, you don't want to go in and like get a map instantly and then like finish place right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've definitely pitched it so you can get them. Like, it's not, you know, you don't have to be a no-lifer in order to find them.
Yeah, of course.
But it's not something where you've just got constant access to them over and over again.
Yeah, I really like the idea with no like currency. Because it's just annoying to pick up gold all the time. Like, all you want is the items anyway. Like, the currency doesn't really matter.
Right. Did you play much Diablo 2?
I wouldn't say a lot compared to a lot of other people, but I definitely played it. Like, I have like level 90 plus characters on hardcore. But I never played it like more than a year.
We noticed that in that game the gold was basically useless because it wasn't used for almost anything at all, and the economies were based around Stone of Jordans and runes. Yeah. So that's what we modeled for our currency system, but we tried to make the items more useful. You know, of course they can be used to re-roll things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering about that. Should I save all the mats I'm getting now? Like, are they useful for later on, or should I use them now, like while I'm low level, to be stronger?
That really is a tough question. I mean, if you were playing purely hardcore, then you could definitely make a case for using them all straight away so that you survive. But I suspect saving a few of them are useful. Yeah. What's interesting is the really rare ones can still drop at level 1 areas, so a new player can find stuff that's worth a lot to a high level player.
Oh. Yeah, are those, like, I had some stuff that like made white rares. Can you use those at high level as well?
Yeah, they're quite valuable and they're a good trade economy thing.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I used one on a sword, and that's like the one I'm using right now. I think I got lucky, because it was really good.
Yeah. Getting lucky is what the item system's all about.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I'm happy there is no goblins in this game, if you follow the Diablo 3 scene.
Oh, the treasure goblins.
Yeah, in this game you kill stuff to farm. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Like farming at endgame, you will kill stuff, I assume. Like, they won't. Can you like is it good to make new games all the time and go to the same area, or do you want to like continue clearing, or like what's the ideal thing to do?
There's a bit of a compromise there. I suspect that if you can find something to do in an area, then you can probably optimize your time by repeating the area. Yeah. But we've tried to make sure that it's still rewarding to clear them fully as well.
Okay. Yeah, because stuff like that, I don't like when you do the same area over and over, like going to the same boss 100 times in a row, because it's optimal.
Yeah. We found a situation with the most recent patch where the optimal way of getting maps was a bit boring, so we whitened up the area that can drop them so that you can play any area you want in Act 2 of the final difficulty.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we want to have a philosophy where any monster can drop any item. I mean, obviously there's item levels, so you can't find godly stuff in the first areas of the game, you know?
Yeah.
200 damage swords or anything. But we do want it so that you have a reason to kill the white monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, otherwise you would just run around, I guess, and kill the bosses. What's this sapphire flask?
Yeah, that's a cold resistance flask.
Oh. Oh, so when I click it, I get cold resist.
Yeah, it's good to have utility stuff like that occasionally for certain situations. Like if you're fighting a boss like Mervale, who you know to do a lot of cold damage, that will save your life.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's what killed me anyway, so... Wish I had one of those. Let me see.
Yeah. Of course we make it drop slightly after you finish that fight.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while in Act 1 I was struggling a lot because my weapon was really bad. Like, I went from like 20 DPS to like 70 when I got this weapon.
Nice. Yeah, some of the upgrades feel really good. Was that the one that you used the Orb of Alchemy on?
Yeah, exactly. I think it was. I don't know what the orb was called, but it made like a white. I bought a white item in the shop in town, and then I used the orb to make it rare, and it became really strong.
That's exactly the story we want our players to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, when the people miss and get a really bad item, you want one that's good for casters when they're melee, then they just whine on the forums about it, which is sad, but it has to be like that so that they feel good when they get a good roll.
I really like the mobility of this class, like you have charge, I don't know, now I have some charge attack as well, but I don't know how I like it though. The flickering strike, like it does a lot more damage than the charge I think, but it's not as smooth when I use it. It's like, I don't know, it feels a bit delayed. I'm gonna try it a bit more.
I think it's because, actually, some skills rely on waiting to hear from the server, though I'm assuming you're based in Central Europe?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
you should have a
Northern
pretty
Europe.
good ping to the server.
Yeah.
Okay. Scandinavia?
Yeah, Sweden.
Nice. Yeah, our lead artist is Swedish, so he would say hello if he was still here, but he's gone home to sleep.
Okay. I'm gonna try it. Yeah. I'm trying to use it now on this guy. You know, the charge is super smooth though. That's why I'm using it like almost all the time. By the way, can you like see your damage above the mobs, or like what's the reason for not having that?
There are two reasons that we didn't put that, well, three reasons I guess. The first one is Diablo 2 didn't have it, and by default we prefer to do things that are familiar for Diablo 2 players rather than Diablo 3 players.
Yeah.
This is partly because Diablo 3 wasn't out when we made most of the game.
Exactly.
The second reason is we haven't had time to add polish features like that. I mean, we're working on core systems like PvP at the moment.
Yeah.
And finally, we kind of feel we'd rather show a clean view of the combat without having numbers and words all over it. So by default, we prefer to just let people watch the combat and see if they're doing large hits because the monsters die and make a lot of blood, for example. But there's been discussion about putting it as an option.
I think I prefer it like this, to be honest. Because there is, like you said, there is a lot of spam on the screen, especially if you have AoE abilities and attack a lot of mobs. All you see is like big numbers flashing all over the screen. Which, I don't know. It feels more realistic like this.
Yeah, I prefer it like this because I like people to be playing the game rather than watching the numbers.
Yeah.
But having said that, a lot of players want the numbers, so we may get them in.
Yeah, I think like the old school gamers don't really care about it. It's more like the new school World of Warcraft people that are used to seeing like big DPS meters and big numbers. But I guess that's a large part of the people who will play this game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, in a perfect world, everyone played Diablo 2 and then moved to this one, but now they've played World of Warcraft and Diablo 3, so their expectations have changed slightly.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I like the least with Diablo 3 is the fact that it's so similar to World of Warcraft, even though they're different type of games. Like, it feels like they copied a lot from that game to Diablo 3. Like the whole feel is more World of Warcraft-ish than a Diablo game.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's the shoulder pads that do it for me.
And that's the problem with most games in general. Like, most games tend to copy other popular games. But there's usually a reason why people quit those games. Like, they don't want to play the same game again. At least I don't.
Yeah, to some extent we're pretty similar to Diablo 2 though. I mean, at least we've tried to be accessible to that player base. You know, we want it so that if you enjoyed Diablo 2, you will enjoy our game. Though we have changed a lot of systems. Like, for example, the Flasks, which you've talked about, and the skills are very different.
Yeah, I love the Flask system. That's really cool. I like the fact that you can use them, like, it's like adds 5 more skills to your character when you have like abilities on them. Like, you can use your HP pot for run speed instead of healing up if you need that in a situation.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that system. I think that and the map system, where mods are on items that you don't expect, they're very Diablo-ish concepts.
Yeah. Well, I've gotten more of a, well, I didn't play Diablo that. I prefer Diablo 1 to Diablo 2, but I get a lot of Diablo 1 feel in this game, especially in some dungeons. Like, they look kind of similar to like the cave system in Diablo 1. I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but I really like that part. Like, they're very narrow, you know? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen around the corner. It was more like that in Diablo 1 than Diablo 2, I think.
We really liked the atmosphere of Diablo 1, and the game systems of Diablo 2.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big fan of like the atmosphere in games. Especially hack and slash games.
Yeah. We have an atmosphere department that wants to make stuff scary. Like the music when you're fighting the Brutus fight. It creeps a lot of people out.
Yeah. The music was so awesome. Like, everyone commented on that when I went down there.
Yeah.
And then you had to run around. Oh, and you also had to run around a long time to find him. I was like, oh my god, where is he gonna come?
Yeah, we our lead artist was browsing YouTube and he found like some